Hi there, and welcome to the third part of this module, which is all about copyright. Copyright is a little bit of a difficult concept to understand, but we've tried to simplify it down to the basic concepts for this PowerPoint that you're going to look through. There's three main concepts that are going to stick out above everything else you learn in this PowerPoint, and those three concepts are fair use, derivative, and de minimis. And so in this video, I just wanted to point out those three terms as being the power concepts or the main concepts for this PowerPoint. Fair use is when you have the right to borrow some part or all of an image to use in your own artwork or graphic design. So sometimes you have to make an image for a client and you don't have any image to start out with or work with. They don't give you any image, you don't have anything to start out with. So you either have to make the image from scratch by taking your own photograph, drawing it, painting it, or going to the web and finding something that will work. The best thing is to make something from scratch or to pay for stock images or to pay for some service that will let you and allow you to use their images. That would be fair use, to pay somebody and ask permission to use it. Some other fair use options out there are if you were to use some kind of image or part of an image for scholarly purposes, if you're a teacher or a student and you're using it in a report or presentation, you're not going to get sued under copyright law as a teacher or student usually, because copyright law protects those kinds of situations because it understands that scholarly purposes you need to use images. Another thing, because America supports free speech, we support the idea of using other people's images to create parody or satire. So parody is when you take a person's image, you might alter it a bit, create a meme out of it or something humorous, and or take something like a movie and do a humorous version of it. Then you're not going to get sued if you call or consider it parody. Usually you have to have some kind of reason why you're doing it, like it's making a social statement or you're trying to say something about the original work or something. You have to have some kind of reason why you're doing it, but you're not trying to harm the original artist in any way, and so that would be fair use. The other big terms that we talked about, derivative and de minimis. Derivative means that you're deriving the sole reason that your work exists is because of this other work, and you didn't ask permission. So you can get sued for that, and you get sued for what's called damages, which means you are damaging the other person's ability to make a living. And so that is a bad thing. You don't want to hurt other people's ability to make a living, and you don't want them to take your work and make money from it. You want to make money from your own work. So you have to ask permission first or somehow seek out a way to get permission to use other people's work. Otherwise, it's derivative. You want to make sure that you are not taking so much of the work that it would be called derivative. But if you take just a little bit of it, this is what some people call stealing like an artist. If you take just a little bit of it, nobody might ever know. It's called stealing like an artist or hiding your sources. And so that might fall under a category, the third category called de minimis, which, if you think about it, is kind of, it sounds like minimum. Really what it means is a Latin term which the courts describe as, we're not going to deal with this. This is very minimal. The court doesn't deal with trivialities. And so if you were to be caught borrowing some small part from some other person's art, your lawyer or you could argue that it is so minimal, so trivial that it did not hurt the other person's market value for their artwork. And probably that would allow the case to be thrown out in court. So there's fair use, derivative, and de minimis. Those are the three terms I want you to know from this PowerPoint. The rest of it is all very interesting, but there's a lot of terms that are involved in copyright, and those are the three to keep in mind. So take a look at those, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.